Good evening, everyone. Right, I'm out on an evening walk with Ozzy and Merlin. I've been at work today, so it's a 12-hour day. So they've had one of their boring days with their lovely person coming and letting them out part-way through, having a play with them and leaving them with something tasty to puzzle over. And then we head out to the woods in the evening or the fields. It won't be long before this is being done with a head torch, unfortunately. While I've been at work today, I've been pondering. Yesterday, I was having a look through Facebook, and there's people pleading for help for volunteers, both obedience, rally obedience, agility. And I'm one of those people who currently don't do much to volunteer. And I feel bad about it. And I'd really want to be doing more. Good boy. One, to help the sports. But it's also a great experience. I've scribed a couple of times. And if I am at a competition or a training day, I'll always help set up rings, put rings away, do anything that I can along those lines. But actually putting my name down to scribe or to even train as a judge, have to go and do 2 training days and then keep that competency up and get to a certain amount of competitions, I'm just not doing it. And we're going to see that more and more. So I work 12-hour shifts. I also work weekends, and a lot of people do. So it might be that I can only make 3-4 rally competitions a year. Now, if I'm giving up 2 of those to scribe or do other things, it's a big undertaking. It's a lot of fuel. It's a lot of expense to not get a lot out of it. But then if I don't do it, and people like myself don't do it, the sports won't continue. So I don't quite know what the answer is. The other factor, of course, is I'll be working until I'm 67. Things would have to be changed quite drastically for me be able to afford to retire earlier and afford to go and do these things. I doubt I'll be able to do both. I'm struggling with arthritis in my knees from previous career. Will I be fit enough to stand and do things all day? The other thing I have to factor in is my dogs do get boring days. I know I'm more aware of this than many others, having come from living on estates, stable yards, farms. My dogs did have amazing lives. They did get shut away a lot as well. That's the bit you don't see with farm dogs. But they are often shut away, but they get a really good life in between. And that's what I try and give my dogs now. But of course, any time I volunteer for anything, that's my dogs shut away again. That's another journey with them in crates and not getting out to do anything. And I really don't think that's fair. I don't know what the answers are. When I was a teenager, I obstacle judged or hazard judged, as it was then with carriage driving. And it was expected that you did. And it was a great way to learn. So I did a lot of volunteering with carriage driving. And again, I'd like to do more now. But ironically, the only way I could really be a volunteer for dog sports is if I didn't have my own dogs. And obviously that's not something I'm planning on doing. Many people who have retired are also now looking after grandchildren. That's quite a big factor. It's going to be interesting to see as time goes on. What got me really thinking about this was there was advert for the local police. I'd really enjoy that. We get volunteer days from work. And I really do want to do something along those lines. I've always volunteered with driving or riding for the disabled. But it's been easy. I've lived on site. I've been able to go straight over after work or at lunchtimes and things, and it's always worked. It's now a big thing. My nearest driving for the disabled is 30 miles away. I just simply cannot afford the fuel and the time to do a 60-mile round trip minimum, and they'd like really to commit to twice a week if I'm going to be an RDA whip. I just can't do it, but I want to. There's so much I'd like to do. The only thing I really could do, and a lot of railway workers do, is volunteer for the Samaritans. But there is that little selfish bit of me. The reason I want to volunteer and do something is to get out and see people. I work on my own in a signal box for 12 hours. You don't have the same sort of social life as signallers used to, because we don't all finish at the same time and shut our boxes up and all go for a drink at the railway club. It's 12-hour shifts, you hand over to someone else and off you go home. So for me, volunteering with something like the Samaritans isn't the answer. But I've got to make the time if I do want to. The idea of Merlin was to be a pet therapy dog, to go into schools and do reading with dogs. I don't know if he's going to make it, and I had to take that on board. He's quite nervous. But it might be that Oti, as she's getting older and steadier, she might manage it. And that is something I will look back at again. She will certainly pass the assessment, but it's whether I know, honestly, every now and then she still takes a disliking to someone. And obviously that's not really what you can do. If you're going to a hospital or going into a school for children to read, you can't have your dog suddenly decide they don't like someone. Right guys, we better turn round. It's raining. He says, I don't care. I don't care. So that again is another possibility. But I look at all my friends, quite a lot of my friends through the dog sport are retired. And quite a lot got to retire quite early. And I look at the amazing things they do and what they give back to the sport. And I feel guilty. I want to be able to do that. But I also want to give my dogs a decent life whilst I can. I also have to work to pay the mortgage and afford the dogs. So it's all about balance. But there we go, that is today's pondering and wandering. I'm afraid guys, we're not going to be sitting on the bench today. If it's nice enough, I sit here and let them do their own thing for a bit. But I think we better head back, hey? Because that's it. The reality is, it's what now, 7:30. I'm not going to be home till 8. If not a bit later, by the time I finish my walk. I want to be going to bed about 9:15. I've still got dogs and cats to feed. Need to have a shower. Not a lot of a day left, is there? So there you go. That is my pondering and wandering. I suppose actually just to add in, the other thing is, I'm single. I'm on my own. So my days off last week were spent painting. If I want to keep my house up together, I've got to do it. I can't afford to pay others. So painted the ceilings downstairs, the kitchen walls. Guys, get on. I'd love a new kitchen. That's not in the budget. But what I have done, I painted the tiles. And what I've done this week is put new door handles and cupboard handles on. And I've got a new tap to go in. But I'm trying to get hold of a plumber's a nightmare. So yeah, that is another added factor if you're sharing the workload of working, home, maintenance, cleaning, tidying, etc., exercising dogs, obviously that frees up time that could be spent volunteering and doing other things. And I've also got to be realistic. I've got fibromyalgia. I do get tired. I got to the point earlier this year where I'd overdone it. And I've had to change lifestyle a bit. So no overtime. But I can't spend that not doing overtime doing too much instead. Because I've got to stay fit and healthy for my job. So there we go. Right. I think when we get to the bottom here, the dogs can go and have a bit of training each, work their brains, because we can see their brains need a little bit of work, don't they? Hey, gorgeous girl. Good boy. So there you go. Nice to catch up with you all. Let me know your thoughts. Take care, everyone. And we'll see you all soon.